Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris with My Service Area. Hope all is well. Wanted to record a quick video about creating a zone and just kind of going over some things on the map page within MSA, My Service Area, MSA for short, and hopefully answer some questions and give you some better insight into what goes on the back end with MSA and what you can do. So, this is one of my testing accounts. I haven't set up a service area. So it's acting like I'm just a new customer. So it gives me this message, click a point on the map within your service area to begin. And so what I'm going to do here is going to click that. It's going to give me some instructions on how to do this because as you'll see just here, you see these white little circles. These are your edit points and how you can move around the shape and really get finite on your service area. So just for the sake of this video, let me zoom in just a little bit. Let's just say that I want to do my service area is very, very small. Let's just say this right now. And I just want to do kind of part of West Ashley and then down to the peninsula of Charleston. And so in this, you're probably, don't quote me on this, there's probably 3 or 4 different zip codes that you're covering right here. And so if you did a zip code filter for this, you would end up outside of your service area. And so you would have to look up those addresses, respond to those people, and waste a lot of time. And that's not the goal of my service area. The goal of my service area is to save you time, create profitable service areas, and build efficiency within your business. So let's just come down here a little bit because that's a lot of industrial area there. So let's just say this is my service area. So now I have it. Let's just make sure I'm not cutting off anything because when I'm doing setup calls with new customers and I see straight lines, I get nervous because I feel like they are cutting off part of a neighborhood. And so let's just make sure that we tuck in here and not miss anybody on the other side of, or including on the other side of 526, then also down here on 17. See, highways and major roadways are great tools to use within MSA as well because they give you a good boundary. And so, some of you may ask the question, well, where do I start my service area? You really need to understand where your home base is or where your office is, and then where your people are. The first thing is you need to identify your customers. Where do your customers live? Where are their offices? If you do like commercial work, you need to identify that. That's step number one is where are your people that you are going to sell your service to? And so once you've identified that, then you can determine your service area around those people and drive time and what have you. Obviously, if you're a larger organization, you may have multiple sites which help create efficiency and reduce windshield time or non-productive or non-producing time. When you're sitting in a truck or a car, you're not making any money for your business, and you're could be spending money on your employee as well as wear and tear on the vehicle and insurance and all that good stuff. But anyway, let's get back to this map. So I've got my map created. I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now that's my service area. So I right click on it. It tells me it's zone 1 for right now. I'm getting ready to rename it. It tells me the square miles. So now I know how many square miles that I'm servicing. I can delete it. So let's go into edit zone. I'm just going to do WA and downtown. So this is West Ashley and downtown. I can give it a color. I'll choose red. I can put it in draft mode. Now, this is something that's pretty cool, especially from a marketing side, because right now this zone is live. if I mark this and click OK, it will be in draft mode. And what that means is it's not live on your website or when you look up an address. I call it a ghost zone, if you will. And so one of the things that our customers are doing is that they're making these zones and putting it in draft mode, and they're keeping track of the inquiries they get in this zone. So let's just say you wanted to do another zone up here, like a ghost zone. Let's choose, well, let me zoom out a little bit here, because I know, let's just say Somerville. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add a zone. It's going to give me the instructions again. I'm just going to put it over Somerville. I'm just going to make it much smaller. I'm not going to go down to the street level. But just to give you an idea, I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to call it Somerville. Like tracking. So now I'm going to put it in draft mode. And I'm going to save it. And well, let's it's going to tell me it's disabled. But let's give it a different color. It's kind of hard to see that color. There we go. So it's disabled. But anytime an address that is entered in this zone, MSA is still going to drop a pin on that. It's going to block them because this zone's not active, and it's going to say, hey, we don't service your address at this time. Please leave us your information. But it's going to drop a pin on there. So when you look at your map and you go to your pin settings, you can start to see those pins in that zone. And so if this zone becomes active, you've got the address. This gives you the ability to open up this zone and maybe do a mailer to them. If they left their contact information, you can email them and start marketing to this zone because now you have enough interest in your service. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty cool. I call it a ghost. Oops, didn't mean to go that far out. I call it a ghost zone because it's not live and it's just tracking information on the back end. Let me go back to this zone and let's go to edit. Another great functionality is that let's say you have multiple zones that are maybe close together or further apart, and you have different pricing structures. You can actually do what we call address-based pricing. So if you've got a different pricing page for this zone, you would just do, like myservicearea.com / Somerville zone. And then that would be the name of the page, and they would be sent to that page. And so they don't see the other pricing. The other people don't see the other pricing. They get this pricing, and it allows you to cover any additional expenses. So if you have to travel further, or maybe it's not even traveling further, but it just takes longer time to get there, or maybe it is an older neighborhood that is not very trailer friendly or truck friendly, what have you, just depending on your service. This is a great way that you can hide your pricing and set up different pricing matrix per their address. So, this is the map within MSA. You can come in and edit it at any time you want to. You just click in there, you get the white circles or vertexes, I think they are, and maybe you need to delete it. You can delete it there just by right-clicking, holding your mouse on the actual circle that you want to delete or the vertex you want to delete, and then you can delete it. You can do address lookup. So if you are in the office or you have office staff, you can do an address lookup. They're not going to Google Maps and typing in an address and zooming out or zooming in. They're entering the address here, and it says yes or no, and it drops a pin on the map. Then as you start collecting addresses, you can start seeing those pins pop up. Again, this is a test account, so I apologize. I can't show you any data right here, but all these pins will start showing up, and you can see where you can grow, where you can shrink, and what have you. So I went a little long on this, but hopefully this gave you some great insight into the map functionality with My Service Area. If you have any questions, let me know, myservicearea.com, or shoot me an email at chris@myservicearea.com. Be more than happy to jump on a demo or have a conversation and answer any questions for you. Thanks, guys.